All right, I'm back and I'm really happy to be doing a new challenge. I don't know, is it a challenge or more just a hashtag thing from Brian Cormack Carr. That's right, BCC. And I want to thank him personally because this is really great to have something else to focus on throughout my day. I would like to share with you my 3 and bonus item for how I enjoy tarot in my own life. My tools are, let's start with the books, the 3 books that I really enjoy. I'm going to pull out the very first book that I got. This is the very same book that I got way back when I first got my very first deck in 1997. That's the 78 Degrees of Wisdom. This started me off, I believe, on the right foot. It actually really entrenched me into the whole overview of the tarot, and it's been incredibly helpful, and it's a wonderful resource material. I really enjoy Rachel Pollack. I've seen a lot of people have a lot of her books and material, and even some things that she had put out that I wasn't even aware that she had, so I look forward to checking those out as well. Really cool to see all of these things everyone's posting, to see how people are getting inspired. I'm really enjoying it. So 78 Degrees of Wisdom. My Gandalf character that gave me my first reading said, this is the book that you start with just to get an idea that it all makes sense, that these images aren't random, and she does a great job at really teaching it like that. This is another book that I actually recently got, and I believe that this is something that's going to be coming with me on an island if I ever have to go with my 3 and bonus item. This is Tarot and the Tree of Life. I know a lot of people get into the Tree of Life with the tarot. I think it's a wonderful symbiotic relationship. If you're not familiar with it, it just adds that extra avenue of understanding the cards whenever you kind of see and the images aren't really resonate with you, all the suits aren't really resonating with you, and then you just, if you're looking for a different aspect of trying to make sense and connect the dots of a spread or particular card, you can think about the Tree of Life, and it just so happens that there's 10 of them, and they represent the pips magnificently with the little titles as far as the aces and what the 2s mean, what the 3s mean. It mimics and mirrors everything that Rachel has taught me and inspired me to utilize whenever I'm just trying to connect the dots of all the cards together. So Tarot and the Tree of Life. This is from Isabel Rado Kleigman. I got this in some really tiny, cool bookstore up by Ojai, California, just a few weeks ago, and I've been really enjoying this. This is going to come with me. My third book is this is from Nancy Guerin, and it was given to me as a gift, and at first, this is probably 10 years ago, this was given as a gift, and I didn't want any sort of book like this that gave a direct interpretation of the card. I like to be able to have my subconscious and higher self connect to really read in and get all kind of reaching for that intuitive meaning and all of these things for the cards. But this Tarot Made Easy is a really fun book if you're ever wanting to get very specific on one particular thing. It takes every single card and it divides it into 20 or 21 or 22 different categories, like work, career, pleasures, news, family, finances, and it goes on and on and on, travel. So depending on if you're just doing one card and if you have one very specific question in mind, then you go to that particular character. And I had this book for a number of years before I really pulled it out because, like I said, I don't like these direct correlations with this card means this. But I was going through something, with my physical body, and that it was an ailment. It was a very particular kind of a bother to me, and I wanted to find out what was going on. I'm not a fan of going straight out to doctors, so I wanted to turn to my metaphysical help first. And I said, okay, now's the time to pull this out because there's a physical body characteristic, or I guess delineation of each card. And I have to pull one card, and it came out with the symptom that I was showing, and it completely blew me away. And since then, I've pulled it out a number of times just because it's so much fun. If you have just something so specific that you want to put out to the universe, put out to your higher self, like I just need one thing answered, and I would need to be very specific about, say, travel for this trip. I don't know if I should book this trip or not because I got this other thing and I'm afraid this other thing I'm going to miss out, whatever. This is just a really fun book. Probably well, it's very, very easy. It's very easy to understand. It's for people that really, I would say, don't even understand how the structure of the tarot goes. But in that regard, it's just kind of fun to just sort of get away from it all. Those are my 3 books that I would go, probably, anywhere with if I just had to pick 3. The decks that I would use, I've said it in my other videos with the 31 Days Challenge, is my Rider-Waite's. Oh my gosh, this is my first deck. I don't even know why I'm showing you this. Everyone is familiar with the Rider-Waite. Maybe it had something to do with Rachel Pollack saying that this is, how she's teaching her thing, but it's the first deck. I have it associated with reading for other people, so that's just what I would do generally if I'm doing readings for other people, which is something that I enjoy probably doing more than anything else in the world. The second deck, and I've talked about it many times in the 31-day challenge, is the Tarot of the New Vision, which is basically the Rider deck, but with the changed perspective, looking from behind the card to see what the characters are actually looking at whenever they're looking out at it. And this is where I digress a little bit and try not to make this video 9 hours long. But just this morning, I had all morning and afternoon to spend for myself, to enjoy for myself, to gear up for my later Friday work in the office. And so I said, I'm gonna pull out the motorcycle. I'm gonna pull out the bike and take a ride up the coast, which that's one of my most favorite things to do besides reading tarot cards and working in the office. And I had it out for 2 hours, and I had the hardest time enjoying it because I was thinking that I should be in the office. There's all these projects that I'm in the middle of. I'm working with my partner to develop these other things and working with all these other, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. So I found it so difficult. Just this morning, this is just before I got here just now, that it was almost, I don't want to say a waste of time, because anytime you're outside and you're breathing the fresh air, it's great. But it felt like I couldn't enjoy it, and I couldn't truly be present, and I couldn't be really productive. I was thinking about work and what I wanted to do, and how to develop the things that I was in the middle of the process of working on now. And I couldn't be here, I couldn't be there, I couldn't be really focused. So what I did is I came back and I came to the office, and I checked out this new challenge, this thing from Brian Cormack Carr, and I saw his video first. And he had this wonderfully simplistic 2-card reading that was just the situation, the challenge, and then to that I added just advice or suggestions. Give me some sort of inspirational love, guidance, support, just something, give me a suggestion to get through this feeling of what was going on. And so this is in connection of the decks that I use with these 2, and I will talk about my 3rd one later. I know I'm getting all over the place here, but I drew from the regular Rider deck just the straight up, what's the situation, what's the challenge, what's the advice, and then I pulled out the New Vision deck, and I said right underneath there, give me the saying, give me the situation, give me the challenge, and give me the advice. Now I won't go through it totally, and this isn't, I don't do this very often, but just for the sake, I got so excited to just see the wonderful, elegant simplicity in Brian's 2-card spread. I said, I have to do this to try to get more clear. I need some definite advice to help not feel like I can't really enjoy when I'm away from the office, because I want to be in the office. And then whenever I'm here, I'm like, oh, I really wish I had time to go on the bike and just ride and relax a little bit. So these are the 2 cards from the both decks of just the general situation. We'll talk it really, really simple, but it's the King of the Coins, the King of the Pentacles, that came in reversed, and also it was the King of the Cups. Here they call it the Chalices in this new vision. And basically both of these cards are saying the exact same thing. Anytime I see the King of Cups, I think of that channeled creativity suggestion. I believe Rachel Pollack actually put that in my mind many, many years ago, about the guy that has responsibilities. He's the king, he's the ruler, he has to do things, make decisions, but his foot also reaches for the water. If you can in your mind imagine the King of Cups, he also wants to be creative, but he's supposed to be a ruler, but he also wants to play, but he still has a job to do. So this is by far the situation that I found myself in. So in both of these cards, and of course the Wealth card reversed means that you're too overwhelmed with the things that you need to do so that you can have a stable, secure state of being. So I found that wonderfully. The challenge, are also the exact same cards came up. The exact same cards are the same meaning. Self-discipline card for the 9 of coins came in reversed. Of course, this to me is the self-discipline, turning away from the sun, looking at the falcon to say, let's go to work. Anyone knows a falconeer, like I'm fortunate enough I know one, it is a hell of a lot of work. When it comes in reverse, it's like you don't have that self-discipline, that, being able to just get down to work. And then here we have this wonderful Queen of Cups, which this card I mean as like the dedication. So the challenge is just to find the dedication, to find the self-discipline, to just, and I didn't mean this, I didn't take this, I didn't intuit this to mean just get to work or get over it. I took it as, that's when you do one thing, when you're on the motorcycle, when you're trying to relax, just dedicate yourself to just feeling the enjoyment of being on your bike, you know what I mean? And when it comes time to be in the office, dedicate yourself fully to enjoying being in the office. Because I was kind of on the bike and trying to figure out what I was going to do in the office. And then, normally whenever I'm here and I can't be on the motorcycle, I'm thinking, oh, it'd be so nice to just be up. It's such a nice day, sunny day out there. So that was really interesting. And then the suggestion, the advice that I sort of added on to Brian's 2-card spread is very, very interesting. It came in like this. It's the 10 of Swords. Really, it just said, take it easy on yourself. Really? Is it that bad? Really? Is it that bad? Really? Because, the bills are paid. Clients are calling. Everything's fine. Is that the worst problem that you have, is that you can't really enjoy your motorcycle ride in beautiful sunny Southern California? It was like 80 degrees today, really. So this is always a good card for me to get. This was showing me the situation, the overall situation. This is actually the intended suggestion. This is just be like, just stop stressing about it. It's not really that bad. And then whenever the reversed, or I should say the Tarot of the New Vision card, it has this wonderful 8 of Pentacles or coins, and that's the reverse that you don't see in the regular Rider Waite. But what I got from this immediately, which is why I generally use this card to just read for myself, is get back into the environment and the situation to be surrounded with others that are purely dedicated, which is, you don't see that guy in the back there or what's in front of the guy. So surround yourself with the people that you see working and dedicated, and that's going to help. You're going to help feed and mimic and model them. And that is absolutely the way that I feel, because my partner and the person that helps me organize not only my life but also my business and this tattooed spirit thing that I'm working on with my clients, and of course my tarot business and everything that I really enjoy, she now doesn't work in the same office. We do it remotely, and I got to tell you, I can feel my dedication and self-discipline sort of teetering off, not having her really in the office with me, so we can just keep ourselves on point and working together. So those 2 decks are definitely coming with me. The 3rd deck that's coming with me is this. I've talked about it so many times because I just enjoy it so much. This is from Elise Wild Woman. I saw it in her collection. I just really wanted to get it. This is the Golden Thread. They're plastic. They're really thin. They work off the Rider imagery, so there's not a lot of translation in my mind whenever I see them being, played out before me. And like I said, they're completely indestructible, and they fold together so well. So this card's going to come with me. I can work on these on the beach. Don't worry about it. The tide comes in and gets them wet. It doesn't matter. They are really, really tough. Really tough. Those are my 3 decks. What else do we have to talk about? The 3 spreads. Well, the cross, for one. The Celtic cross. That's the most descriptive. For me, you can garner so much information just by giving an overview of what the hell is going on around your inquiry. All right, that's absolutely number 1. Number 2 is, I'm going to say what I just described for you, that was inspired by this, by Brian Cormack Carr, BCC. With the situation, the challenge, and the advice. I'm going to add on his and say that the situation, the challenge, and then what's the advice to just sort of get me through this, because both decks resonated with me so well that that's really what was going on. And my third spread really is not a spread at all. It's just something I call card streaming, where it could be one card. And then you sort of get this tingling, like inkling, like, oh, let's add up the fours if it's a cross. Where's this going to go? Where's this going to go? And then you just sort of allow the allowing process to unfold. So that's not really an answer. It's kind of a non-answer, but I wouldn't bring as my third spread a spread at all. But my freedom to just allow the card streaming to happen. That's whenever the stories are woven. That's whenever tales are told. That's whenever backlogs of all kind of old crap gets cleared away from me. And that's something that's incredibly, incredibly helpful. And then my one bonus thing, something that I find incredibly helpful for myself, obviously, but whenever I'm working with my clients, not only as a hypnotherapist in my office, but especially with the tarot, especially with the suit of swords, with all that, with all of your thinking, with all of your logic, your cognitive skills, is the emotional guidance scale. I had this printed up. But I'm shocked at how many people really aren't familiar that you can choose a better feeling thought that's not just automatically, this is probably too small, but up here's the more positive feeling emotions, down here's the less kinesiologically positive emotions, because these are a list of muscle-tested emotions that just how chiropractors use. If you think about being hopeful, it's going to be stronger. Your muscles will get stronger. Neuropeptides, better, more healthy neuropeptides are produced whenever you think a hopeful thought than one that's just a little bit lower on the emotional guidance scale of contentment. So this tool is instrumental for me to help my clients understand that, and this is in the cognitive part of the session, whenever they start talking about what's going on with them, that we notice the patterns of what they're thinking about that's causing the emotions that is helping, direct their actions in their life, that is pointing them in the direction where they're going to be ending up in this future or that future. But it all comes down to choosing a better feeling thought, right? I could talk for days on the emotional guidance scale, but it's critically important that I think everyone have a working understanding that if you're feeling just discouragement, it's so much better to start working your way up by using your willpower to find a thought where you can then temporarily just blame someone. Not that blaming someone feels good, but it feels better to your body. You get kinesiologically muscle stronger by thinking blame, and then you consciously find a thought that then you can worry about something that doesn't feel great, but it feels better than the one, and you just keep working your way up and up and up and up and up. So before I get off on a crazy tangent, that is my bonus, is a copy of the emotional guidance scale to help myself feel better whenever I notice somewhere. How can I feel better? Let's look for the better feeling thought. So you can Google that. There's a lot of channeled material on the internet about that. But I got to tell you, this is going to be so blurry. Apologies, guys. Apologies. Yeah, that's a little Tattooed Spirit logo. But that is my really cool tarot tools trio. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's 18 minutes long. This might take 9 hours to download. So I'm just going to say goodbye right now. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. Bye.